What's going on with Marathon Digital Holdings? We'll analyze the volatility and where it might go. Volatility provides very interesting signals. Let's also look at the options and devise a sound strategy. Let's start from the very beginning. Marathon Digital Holdings is a digital asset technology company which engages in mining cryptocurrencies with a focus on the blockchain ecosystem and the generation of digital assets. The company was founded on February 23, 2010 and is headquartered in Las Vegas. Let's quickly glance at its fundamental indicators. Again, I remind you that fundamental indicators don't have a very strong influence. Movements in price in the moment, but in the long term, they are very important. As we can see, up until 2021, the company was earning very little and was deeply unprofitable. And in 2021, there was a sharp spike. This is, of course, partly related to its activities and cryptocurrencies. Let's look at its market capitalization. Currently, it's $5 billion. In fact, its operating income is currently negative. But pre-tax profit is also positive, as is gross profit. Net profit at the moment is also positive at $223 million. Such a company is involved in Bitcoin mining. It has certain intricacies in terms of operating expenses. Well, the company is profitable at the moment, but its indicators are of course somewhat inflated at the moment. If we look at the percentage due to shorted shares, it's 15%. Let's move on to volatility. What's happening first? We see that volatility has relaxed significantly in the moment. Lately, it has dropped to 146. This is still a very, very high volatility across all strikes. Further, this will help us devise a sound strategy. Next, we move on to the volatility smile. Very rarely do I see such a slope. As we can see, the nearest strikes for March are quite balanced, aligned both towards increase and decrease. But if we take more distant strikes, they are flat. Such a rarity to see in terms of volatility. It measures towards increase and only significantly increases at the $2.5 level. I also want to draw attention to the ratio of historical and implied volatility. Currently, implied volatility is lower than historical for the nearest future. But over the long term, this situation changes. Also, let's immediately look at the open interest volume in options. As we can see, the volume is quite large, both in call options and in put options. The largest volume is concentrated around the $30 level, also $25, $27. On put options, it's $17 and $10. But actually, I want to draw your attention to the fact that a very large volume is concentrated specifically on this week. That is on March 15th. What does this mean? Options are currently very, very concentrated on weekly and nearest strikes, which of course doesn't bode well in the near future because the market maker needs to take their commission. Let's also look at the 3D volatility. It will greatly help us in devising a sound options strategy. Professionals will immediately understand what can be organized here. Also, finally, let's look at options liquidity. And about the spread, I want to say that the spread is quite small. This is very good. It will greatly help us in devising a sound strategy. Let's return to the stocks of this company. Based on all the previous graphs, what can we do? Let's start with what we can do first. Since the company is involved with cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, let's look at Bitcoin. As we can see at the moment, Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are experiencing very significant growth. And there is another company that is also growing very strongly against the backdrop of Bitcoin's growth. But as we can see, our company absolutely does not want to grow even with the growth of cryptocurrencies. Also, this is partly due to the decrease in mining profitability. As we can see, earlier this company and Bitcoin had a very good correlation, especially from 2020 to 2022, as we can see that the graphs matched each other identically. But recently, Bitcoin has grown very strongly, while this company is hardly growing. Again, remembering my philosophy, I don't know and can't predict where the stock will go. Anyone who claims to know where the stock will go is simply lying to you. But again, based on all of the above, based on volatility and options, I don't see a potential for very large growth here because it should have already been realized. Again, the company may grow, but at the moment I'm staying away from it because if Bitcoin starts to fall, it's hard to imagine what will happen to this company. Let's move on to composing right away. You might ask, how do you make money then? I'll tell you, you make money through smart position and portfolio management. That's the only way to make good money. Hedging, managing, and I'll demonstrate that to you now. I'll try to come up with an interesting strategy. Let's see what comes out of this. I intentionally sped up the video. Here we are developing an option strategy. Based on all the previous information obtained, here is the interesting strategy I have developed. As we can see, no matter which way the stock goes, we make money. If the stock suddenly starts to rise, we make money. If the stock starts to fall, we also make money. However, again, this position needs to be managed. You will definitely lose your money because uncovered calls are sold here. Once again, a disclaimer, do not replicate these trades after me under any circumstances. If you do, you will definitely lose money. You need a strategy, you need to establish effective position management. If you have any questions, write to me via email. I will definitely help you with that. Also, on the channel, I have organized a poll asking where the stock will go next month. We will definitely summarize the results in the next episode. Without a strategy, without understanding the market, I would not advise you to get involved with this company. If you want to earn easily, this is definitely not the company that will help you make money easily. If you still make money, it will most likely be difficult. I also recommend watching a video about 5 stocks that are expected to experience short squeezes. Making money there is much more interesting. Goodbye to all.